welcome to my channel. Thanks for coming. Today I am going to take my leftover ham that we had the other night. I showed you when I was making my soup, and I'm going to make eggs, potatoes, and sausage. It's absolutely terrific. It's a throw together meal. It's something that there's not an exact recipe. You can put pretty much whatever you want to put as far as amounts and things, and you can substitute the different meats. So don't forget to like and share my video, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so these are the things that you're going to need. I'm going to use ham in mine. You can use whatever meat that you want to use. If you want to put sausage in there, if you want to put bacon in there, if you want to put steak in there. Of course, I've got my eggs. I've got my potatoes. This is the boiled potatoes left over from doing the broccoli, potato, and cheese soup. And then I'm going to put a little bit of cheese in mine as well. So, guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut up whatever your protein is that you're putting into your meal, because the meats, my ham is cooked, so it's not going to take as long. It's going to be basically heating it up a little bit. So if you had a sausage and you were cutting it, you were just making it for the first time, it's going to take a little bit longer than what it will for this that's already cooked. So I like my little ham in small pieces, so I'm going to kind of put mine into too small. Anybody's made any kind of recipe similar to this, why don't you tell me how you do yours? I know everybody has a preference of how they do theirs, but this is the recipe that I pretty much grew up on. It was always whatever we had, you stick it together and make what we have. So I'm going to do a larger batch of this, so I'm going to require more ham. How I usually generally decide how much I'm going to use is I look at the portion that generally whoever it is that's going to be eating, and I look at the size of the portions, and whatever amount that you would have made for that number of people, when you were to make it separate, that's the same amount that you put it in as far as, people. But, I mean, if you like more ham, you can put more ham. If you like more potatoes, you can put more potatoes. So, it's pretty flexible. And it's the same thing with the eggs. I take the number of eggs that people would eat, and I can do that. Or, like me, I have 2, 4, 6, I have 9 eggs in this dozen pack. So, I'm probably going to just do the 9. I guess it's possible I may do more than that because I do have some more eggs. But I'm going to be stretching this out a little bit so that way I can have it for lunch today and I can have it for breakfast tomorrow. And we can kind of do it that way, so that way it lasts. And this is great for anybody that has a big family as well. Now I don't generally season mine until the end, but this time I'm probably going to put a little bit in. My daughter likes a lot of salt on everything, so I'm going to try to add a little bit. But generally with this, when there's sausage or ham, generally I won't add anything, just because the things already have a high salt content. So I generally don't add when I'm using like ham or sausage or things like that. Anything that is generally already have that taste. But my daughter absolutely loves, salt. She's got to have, a ton of it. So I wish she didn't, but I mean, she's young. Her body can take that. So. Okay, so next We have it on the stove, and we are going to let that ham heat up. We don't want to overcook it because we don't want to dry it out, but we're just going to let it cook until it's ready to have things added in it. So just enough to warm it up. Mine won't need much, just a little bit. If you're making it fresh like bacon, you need to cook it all the way through, and of course bacon you would need to drain the grease from it. But sausage, I usually don't worry about it. The sausage I get doesn't put a lot of oil out, and when I add the eggs in with it, it actually gives it extra flavor. So let's just cook this ham, and I'll meet you back when I'm all done. Okay, so now I've got my ham. It's all heated up. You can kind of hear it sizzling. I'm going to put a little bit of butter in there. Generally when I'm doing things from the fresh and not being reheated, like the sausage, it puts enough grease in the pan there that you don't have to worry about the eggs sticking. So I've turned the heat down to a lower heat, like you would normally cook your eggs on, because you don't want to burn them. Oops. I don't do that very often. I am out of practice. Preferably without the eggshells. These eggs are just not liking me today. Come to that conclusion. So I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Okay. Some people would like to do theirs like an egg mix with the milk in it, but I don't like my eggs that way. I don't like scrambled eggs where it has the added milk into it. I know how to do it, but I just do not like it. When I did a lot of restaurant prep years ago, I switched positions. Well, I could pretty much do any position, but I switched positions to doing prep cook just because it was less stressful, it was easy to do. So I would prep, you know, the scramble mix and all that, because they did everything fresh every day. They didn't use the other stuff. So I'm only going to use the 9 eggs because I like the combination the way it is in here, how it's mixed in. And I also have the potatoes to put in. So I'm going to stick with this for now. So I'm going to cook this up until it's almost done. The eggs, that is. You know, mixing it up every so often. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you up when that's all done. Okay, so my eggs are almost all the way cooked. I don't want to wait too long because you don't want it to be overcooked and have burnt eggs. So I'm going to take the leftover potatoes that I had, and I'm just going to add that in there. And of course the potatoes are already cooked. We boiled them the other day when we were making our broccoli, potato, and cheese soup. So it's just a matter of those getting heated up. So as you can see, this has made a lot of food. If you want to stretch it out even more, you could add more eggs to it. If you want to do just a small portion of it, you just use less. It's no big deal. It's pretty much a throw together. If you don't have a certain number, that's fine. You can adjust it. It doesn't matter. You make it how you like it. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid on it for a few minutes just to let it hold in to make sure that those potatoes are getting cooked. Okay, so everything's getting heated up here. Again, you don't want to cook it to the point you're burning the eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my cheese into it. I have maybe a half a cup or so. And I'm just going to put the lid on and let that cheese melt. I'm just going to stir it up a little bit to make sure I have the cheese all spread out throughout it. I'm just going to give that cheese a chance to melt. I also hold on to these egg cartons because when you buy the plats, like the large ones, they're hard to get in your refrigerator, so I hold on to all my egg cartons, and then that way I can use them to fill. And then I hold on to the cardboard because you can actually do there's a DIY that you can do these to actually turn them into fire starters, and maybe I'll do that another day. So we're going to let this cheese melt, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Okay guys, so here we are, our nice eggs, potatoes, and ham with, and the cheese mix I use is Monterey Jack and cheddar, but I mean you can use any kind of egg mix that you want. If you want it really creamy, you could even put Velveeta. Hey guys, thanks for coming today. I hope you enjoyed my recipe. It's one of my favorites that I make, and it's easy, throw together. You can make it with whatever you have. It can be, you know, like I said, bacon, sausage, ham. I use ham because we just made a 10-pound ham, and so we have that left over. So I use, you know, the bowl full of ham. I use about a half a cup of cheese, and I use 9 eggs in it. So, but you can adjust it however you want. Let me know in the comments if you've tried it, or if there's any suggestions you would have for what you would put in your egg lunch. So my daughter's going to get surprised with this. She's probably going to be just waking up. She's up all night and sleeps mostly during the day, but she doesn't get this often, so she is going to be absolutely excited. So thanks for coming, you guys. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.